Chef Cochell, we got the Icarus Illuminati. It's just the pattern of mutual caring and nurturing that we can observe between men and women who love each other and know how to love out of the fullness of their own being comes their ability to nurture out of the sensitivity of their own needs. They are sensitive to the needs of their partner. Out of acceptance of the child and the self comes acceptance of the child and the partner. It is easy enough to understand why such a person loves that curse. And it is easy enough to understand why, in the absence of such understanding and such Athena and such nurturing, love tends to diminish, strive, and die. I'm done with the Care Castle, dude. Sandy. With Sandy Sutherland, dude. To be nurtured is the experience that I'm cared for. Not to be nurtured is to be deprived of the experience I'm cared for. Maybe a gift. I wouldn't mind a gift period at some point, too. I'm thinking of a couple I know who are very much in love and immature, the woman in particular. The relationship is tense and stormy, filled with passion, tears, separations, and reunions. There are many reasons for their conflict, but one clearly has to do with the woman's inability to nurture. Not that they is callous or different. She does not try, she cares and does not. She thinks she understands why her man is unified and unfilled. She plays at being nurturing, going through some of the motions as conscientiously as she can. See what a good girl I am, now I'll take care of me. The nurturing she offers is not organic. It does not come from her core. And the man senses this, even if he cannot put his feelings into words. The nonsense about love, none is more absurd than the notion that ideal love is selfless. What I love is the embodiment of my values in another person. Properly understood, love is a profound act of self-assertion. To love selfishly does not mean to be indifferent to the needs and interests of the partner. To say it once more, when we love, our concept of our self-interest expands to embrace the well-being of our partner. That is the great compliment of love, to declare to one another human being that his or her happiness is of selfish importance to ourselves. It would be hardly a complaint to tell a person we love and that his or her well-being and happiness are not of selfish interest to us. To love is to see myself in the end and to wish to celebrate myself with you. This is hardly unselfish, yet it is the very essence of love. Oh, God damn it, dude. Myth psychology. If I accept and respect you, it's not selfish. If I honor your integrity, selfless. If I care about your thoughts and feelings, if I hold you in my arms, if I stroke and caress you, if I love you on my own life, it is not selfish. And when we are in love and the wisdom to spend time together alone, doing nothing as the word we're doing is ordinarily understood, just being together, just sharing our being, sharing our thoughts, our feelings, our fantasies, our longings, sharing the voyage into that self, using each other to go deeper into that self as a guide, a facilitator, a mirror, a sounding board for the explorations of the self, making love a pathway to self-discovery, making love a vehicle for personal growth, making love a doorway to personal embodiment. Is this not the noblest and most exalted expression of intelligent selfishness? What a gig, I'm not just a butterfly. Sometimes when we talk about the challenges of romantic love, think about all the hurdles that have to be met across. It is difficult not to feel sadness and helplessly watch while love slipped away and they did not know how to stop it, did not know what happened or why. Sometimes it's easy enough to see where people are being responsible, willfully and perversely unconscious or petulantly childish, and then perhaps we do feel a great deal of sympathy. Easy, dude, but when the causes of love's disintegration are subtle or less transparent, and the couples build a little more authentic, then we can hardly help but feel the pain of others struggle in the dark to create a life for themselves. I'm thinking of those who grew up alienated from their own sexuality, Those who experience their sexual responses, fantasies, and behavior as something distinctly foreign, not an organic and natural expression of the self. For them, love can be very difficult because their desires do not follow the pathway of their admiration, do not follow the pathway of their professed values, but to take their orders from a different source, a self that has never matured. We recognize, of course, that sex and love, though related, are obviously different. We recognize, God damn it, dude. Sexual desire does not necessarily entail love. We recognize that gratifying sexual This is the point. That is the point. Recognize that the greatest and most intense sexual experiences occur in the context of love, occur as a recession of love. What is the torment then of those who claim that when they feel love, they do not necessarily feel ardent desire, or claim their best actual? I might have some smitten. I want another. I want another carrot castle, dude. I want another carrot castle. These are sexually self-alienated men, women whose lives are inevitably unsatisfying. Bed can be a place where we put our fear of intimacy. This is sex never truly rises above the level of masturbation. Bed can be the place where two children hold hands against mysterious terrors of the adult world. Bed can be the place where a man or woman endlessly reenacts the struggles to gain the love and approval of a rejecting parent. Bed can also be the place where an individual's love affair with life explodes and overflows in a torrent of joy and excitement. Bed can be a place in which two lovers, in the act of worshiping each other, overflow the boundaries of flesh and spirit and make manifest the deepest values of their existence. If we are not divided against ourselves, if we are not engaged in a constant struggle to prove our worth or to prove anything, then we are free to enjoy our own being, to enjoy the state of being alive, to enjoy and appreciate our partner. We do not experience a split between mind and body, between spirit and flesh, between admiration and passion. Then we truly think and feel that our partner is wonderful. We take pride in the direction of our sexual desires. The trouble is that if we do not like our partner's sexual responses, we are inclined to disown them even while acting on them, to deny or to avoid the reality, what we feel, and what we're doing. And then thus keep our psychologically hermetic out from the rest of the conscious experience, cut off from our knowledge and intelligence. So we remain helplessly stuck, unnecessarily stuck. We cannot. That was brave. You're a pussy, dude. You're just a pussy, dude. We'll not allow ourselves to experience fully. And so you're just a pussy, dude. And so we remain the prisoner immaturity of the unfulfilled business of our childhood, which keeps us from the joys and gratifications. When you're just participating in the reward. For many, do I admire my partner? It seems less frightening to ask. Do I love my partner? Do I desire my partner? Do I have a pleasant time with my partner? To ask, do I admire my partner? Is risk discovery that I may be bound to him or her through dependency, through admiration, more than maturity or fear or convenience than genuine. Wait, I'll say this. I don't get enough respect for the books I read, dude. You should be able to extrapolate the whole. If I read the pleasure-seeking principle, then I'm obviously operating on the pleasure-seeking principle. What is odd is how unconscious many people keep themselves concerning the importance of this issue. They cannot talk for hours, and if I read a book about hedonism, it means I'm a hedonist. About the difficulties in the relationship, I can never think to raise this question. I remember once a woman came for a consultation because she was unhappy with her husband. She forgot for us to be bewildered as to the reason. I asked her what kind of man her husband was and what I thought of him. She answered, I'm mostly a hedonist, dude. He's marvelous, dude. Remember, I'm mostly a hedonist, dude. That's sort of the meaning for me is hedonism, dude. I eat breakfast every morning. He's very kind. never criticized, never complaining, never. And I remember Zara Larson, Midnight Sun at Shanahan's. He is thoughtful in every possible way. I've never been treated in Zoe Cormier, dude. That's not too shabby. He's wonderful, I said, but aside from that side, how he truly knows. How do you see as a human being? She answered spontaneously, he's terrible. He's a liar, a weakling. Right now he's embezzling money from his firm where he works. He lives off his charm. He's a great big nothing, dude.